My brothers and sisters, what is going on? Steel Sermon in the house. Late Tuesday night. And this is finally my Week 3 preview for the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers in Cleveland Thursday night football. And I apologize for this video being a little late. I actually had to re-record my Week 3 picks because the sound wasn't on for the first time that it was on, or the first time that I recorded it. So I had to re-record a friggin' 55-minute video and re-upload it to YouTube. So I apologize for this being a little late. But yeah, we got the Cleveland Browns in Cleveland on a short week. To say that this is going to be a tough test for us is an understatement. Both these teams are coming off losses. We obviously did not look really good. We obviously did not look good at all against the Patriots, aside from the defense. I mean, sure, the lack of pass rush was evident, and a couple bad plays like Akella Witherspoon, letting up a touchdown on a very easy play that he could have made a play on, and Cam Sutton dropping as easy of an interception that a defensive player will ever get. But I think without TJ Watt, I think all things considered, the defense did well enough for us to win the game. Not really their fault that our offense couldn't do anything. But I'll get to the offense a little bit. Yeah. So we lose a tough one to New England. The Browns, on the other hand, they have an inexcusable loss to New York Jets. They were up 30-17 on them under the 2-minute warning in the fourth quarter, and they decide to play prevent defense. Joe Woods, being too cocky, allowing Joe Flacco to score 2 touchdowns on him. Jets pull off an insurmountable comeback on the Cleveland Browns. So, obviously, I'm just going to say it, man, as stupid as it is, all right? As stupid as it is, we win this game Thursday night. We're first place in the AFC North for at least 3 days. How dumb is that? Because this division is pathetic right now so far, man. But, yeah, getting on into this game. So, for us, I'm going to haul off on the offense a little bit, because to say that I am frustrated with the offense is a massive understatement, okay? Now, here's the thing. Am I completely on board with us bringing in Kenny Pickett yet? I'm not quite there yet. But I'm telling you, it is getting harder and harder and harder as the weeks go by and as the days leading up to the game go by to defend and watch Mitch Trubisky anymore. It really is getting, harder to do. Because if you know me, I am probably the most fair person in this entire fan base when it comes to Trubisky. I ripped him a new one on Sunday because I truly believe that he was mostly at fault for why we lost the game. Sure, Canada's vanilla offense was to blame as well, but there were at least a few instances where it looked like he could get creative at some points. But the one constant for Sunday was Mitch Trubisky. So when I see incompetence from both the offensive coordinator and the quarterback, that drives me a little crazy as a fan. And what am I talking about in particular? Well, I was watching another Steeler podcaster I came across on YouTube today, and he pulled up a quote about halfway through his podcast. And it was by Mitch Trubisky. And I have it pulled up on my phone right here. I'm going to post it on the screen right here too. So anyway, when Mitch Trubisky was asked about audibles, this is what Mitch Trubisky says. Mitch Trubisky said he doesn't have the freedom to call audibles on every play in Matt Canada's offense. We're still figuring out when it's a good time for me to audible, he said. Trubisky is a 6-year veteran, right? Frickin' wow. Are you serious, dude? did you really just indict yourself for incompetence at quarterback? Because let me tell you something, Mitch, and you too, Matt. Let me tell you something. A quote like that, where your quarterback just openly admits that he can't audible, or you're not allowing him to audible, I don't know what the deal is, but the point is, we're not calling audibles. You're setting yourself up for failure. And I don't buy anything that this guy sells. And neither does the fan base anymore. I'm not the only one. You are setting yourself up for failure every week if you can't call an audible. Because a quarterback, especially in today's league, the calendar year is 2022, is it not? It's not like this is the 1950s where quarterbacks are throwing 10 times a game. This is 2022, where the NFL is predicated around quarterbacks to make their lives as easy as possible. And for you to not be able to call audibles, or for you to not allow your quarterback to call an audible, that ain't going to fly in today's league. Because what happened when you were incorporating stuff like bootlegs, like QB rollouts, no huddle? What happened when you had the up-tempo offense? You got a drive going, did you not? It resulted in a touchdown, did it not? And a 2-point conversion too, to make it a 17-14 game, which ended up being the final, sure. But there was some chemistry going on that drive there. There was something clicking on that drive on offense there. So don't tell me, Matt, and don't tell me, Mitch, that you can't call an audible when you are a 6-year player in this league, 5 of them being a starting quarterback. And Matt, as the OC, I have to say I'm very upset with you. Because if you're not allowing your quarterback to call an audible, you're set, like I said a couple of times, you're setting yourself up for failure. And that is basic coaching as an offensive coordinator and basic play calling as an offensive coordinator. Gee, Matt, if you ain't allowing your quarterback to call an audible, it's no wonder that you're maybe you ought to just stay a quarterback's coach. And it's no wonder that we have a bottom offense in the league. And we're not getting these plays off. And we're not being productive. And everything still looks the same. Maybe you ought to just stay a QB coach. Or better yet, get off the coaching staff completely. It's embarrassing, man. It's absolutely embarrassing how inept this offense is. And it's not just Mitch Trubisky, all right? He does play a big part of it, don't get me wrong. But it's not just him. It is everybody on this offense. Offensive line, I don't think anything needs to be said about that. Except for the pass blocking. The pass blocking has actually looked decent so far. Nothing great, but nothing terrible. It's looked decent. They're giving Mitch time out there to throw. They're giving him some good protection. But you're telling me you can't open up a couple of lanes for Najee Harris to run the ball with? This is a guy that had 1,200 yards on the ground last year behind this O-line and this run blocking. And now all of a sudden you can't give him any lanes? Chase Claypool's your leading rusher? Here's a sad stat. Joe Burrow has been sacked 13 times this year. 13 times in 2 weeks. Basically, he gets sacked 6.5 times a week. That's pathetic. But you want to know what's even more pathetic? He has been sacked for more yards lost than Najee Harris has rushing yards on the season so far. That is absolutely pathetic. You know? And this guy is in the talks of being a top running back in the league in his second year. Matt Canada's doing what I feared what he was going to do. He's going to ruin Najee Harris if he doesn't incorporate his skills. These receivers, I like these receivers, but I haven't been able to name one standout play by them except for maybe George Pickens' catch this past Sunday, and I think one good catch against the Bengals. Or maybe a couple of plays by Pat Freiermuth. Other than that, these weapons haven't been doing anything. This offense is designed to fail. Which leads me into our opponent, the Cleveland Browns. Now look, the Cleveland Browns, I know that they're starting a game manager quarterback and Jacoby Brissett because Deshaun Watson's still serving suspension, but they're still a capable group in all aspects on both sides of the ball, both offense and defensively. But Thursday, they're coming in with a laundry list of injuries. Chris Hubbard, Jack Conklin, Joel Bitonio, if I'm pronouncing that name right, Harrison Bryant, they're all listed as questionable. And then you got guys like Jadeveon Clowney, Chase Winovich, and former Steeler Jesse James, who did catch that damn ball against the Patriots. They're all on IR, so they're not going to be playing for this game. But then again, you got people like Donovan Peoples-Jones that they're high on, and Amari Cooper is now in the division as well. So it's not like the Browns are depleted on offense. All right? They have some good targets. And I think Jacoby Brissett has more than enough, at least enough right now, to be successful for when Deshaun Watson gets back. But then you got the big one for the Cleveland Browns, and it's their bread and butter. It's their run game. If there's one thing that I've always given the Browns credit for over the past couple years, it's that their run game is top-notch in the NFL right now. And it's not like, Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. It's not like they're 1 and 2. They're 1A and 1B. And it showed against the Jets. People want to say, well, Nick Chubb, he should have, crossed the plane and gotten more points for the Browns. No one could have predicted the Jets were going to mount a comeback like that. So people that blame Nick Chubb for that, you're out of your mind. This Browns team is capable of getting great running games, and they got a great backfield to show for it. Not the best offensive line, but that doesn't really matter. And like I said, Jacoby Brissett, sure, he's a game manager, but he's going to compete. So overall, you look at this Browns offense, it's good enough. Their defense, little spotty. They let their former quarterback have an okay game against them. And then, like I said, I think the problem with their defense lies with Joe Woods. They got to get rid of that guy as defensive coordinator, plain and simple. But overall, this Browns team should be good, all things considered. We should be good, all things considered. But these are two teams that, like I said, should be better than what they are, but they have serious strikes against them, and which is why they're both 1-1 coming into this game. So, what do we do for this game to come out with a W to ease the sting of Sunday a little bit? Well, I got some keys to victory for you. Okay? And I'm trying to cram this in as best I can because it's a short week and I hate short weeks. I hate Thursday night football. I still maintain that Thursday night football should just be on Thanksgiving, but what can I do? I'm just a fan. Anywho, these are my keys to victory. Here's how we can walk out of Cleveland with a W. My first key to victory, as I said before, comes down to the run blocking. You got to get a ground game going here. I don't know if Myles Garrett is going to be 100% for this game. I heard some things that he's banged up a little bit, but I do expect Myles Garrett to play in this game. So, obviously, that is going to be a tall order for this O-line right here, going up against a guy like Myles Garrett, who's a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. Great pass rusher as well. He's capable of getting 10-plus sacks a year, pretty much on the same level as TJ Watt. There's a reason that people argue that Myles Garrett's actually better than TJ. But, yeah, you got to get a ground game going. You got to get a ground game going for this one. The run blocking has to be a heck of a lot better than what it was the past 2 weeks. So that's my first key to victory. Second key to victory, okay? I know a lot of Steeler fans are saying, well, we don't have TJ Watt. Well, this guy's a little banged up. That guy's a little banged up. Okay, I don't get on those kind of fans because those are factual, okay? But see, I don't do that because I'm a next man up kind of guy. And that's my next key to victory is the next man up. More specifically, Alex Highsmith and Malik Reed. They were on a milk carton last week in the first game that TJ Watt wasn't going to be playing. They were on a milk carton. And I expect, obviously, a lot better from them. Filling in for TJ Watt is obviously a big order, but I expect a lot from them. Alex Highsmith led the team in sacks after week 1 with 3. I know he's better than vanishing out of thin air. And Malik Reed, we got this guy before the season started for a reason. To provide depth on the outside. You know? Obviously, that needs to change big time. But like I said, I don't get on those fans that use injuries because those are factual. I'm a next man up kind of guy because I've seen backups in this league win. Okay? I saw the Jets win last year with Mike White at quarterback. The Cowboys, they beat the Bengals this past Sunday with Cooper Rush. All right? The Seahawks are winning with Geno Smith. Okay? Backups can win in this league. I've seen it. So I'm a next man up kind of guy. But when your best player is gone for an extended period of time, it's obviously going to take some time to get acclimated. So that's my next key to victory, the next man up mentality. Number 3, this might sound easier said than done, but it has to be done. Minimize Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. If there's one thing that I will applaud the defense for Sunday, and for the first 2 weeks in general, if there's one thing I will for sure applaud the defense on, it's the rush defense. It looks a lot better. Larry Ogunjobi, former Cleveland Brown, he's doing his job. Tyson Alualu is obviously back, and he has been making this rush defense look really good. Cam Hayward making the rush defense look good. So we're limiting the opponents as much as we can. We're stopping the run as much as we can. Miles Jack getting in tackles to stop the run, which is where I think 55 has to pull his head out of his you-know-where and make some plays. By the way, Devin Bush, he's the only guy that's really questionable to go for this game. But even then, it's not like it's a big loss for us because he don't do anything anyway. But yeah, rush defense has to come up big Thursday night. And they've done a really good job at it so far. But they have their toughest challenge so far, going up against a two-headed monster in Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. So that's my third key to victory. Fourth key to victory, take advantage of Joe Woods. If the offense is to have their breakout game, Thursday is the day to do it. Mitch Trubisky, if you are to do a complete 180 and make me say, you know what, we can win with this guy. Okay? If you are to have that kind of game, Thursday is the day to do it. I don't want to see any stupid crap like taking unnecessary sacks, not throwing the ball out of bounds when you have to, trying to thread the needle, and overshooting your receivers. You have to be on par Thursday. And that goes for the rest of the offense. Because Joe Woods, he made Joe Flacco, a guy who hasn't been relevant in a decade. All right? He made Joe Flacco go back to 2012 form. I expect a better offensive performance for us. I really do. The Jets did it. We can do it too. And finally, my fifth key to victory, and this kind of coincides with the one I said a couple minutes ago. you got to make Jacoby Brissett beat you. Okay? You can't let Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt beat you, because that's how the Browns beat everybody. They beat you on the ground, and they beat you with their run game. Okay? If you're going to lose, okay, you have to make Jacoby Brissett play quarterback. He's a game manager. He's just there to limit the mistakes as much as he can. You have to make this guy beat you. You have to put the Browns in a deficit enough so that way Jacoby Brissett has to throw the ball more. Because what happened against the Jets this past Sunday when the Browns were down 31-30, Jacoby Brissett needed to get the Browns to the 35-yard line to get in Cade York's range. And what happened on the second play of the drive? Jacoby Brissett threw a game-losing interception. Make Jacoby Brissett beat you. Make Jacoby Brissett compete against you. Make him get out of his comfortable situation in the game manager role. You have to be aggressive on offense. Bleed out that clock. Get a run game going. Click on all cylinders. This is your chance, Pittsburgh Steelers, going on up to Cleveland, playing a team that we all hate in the Cleveland Browns. The rivalry is back with these guys, whether you like it or not. We swept them last year, okay? But the rivalry is back with these guys. And as a matter of fact, it's been back with these guys since 2019. Okay? We are on a mission to show we are better than what this team is. And we're going to smack anyone that gets in our way. And if that means driving 2 hours to Cleveland on a short week on a Thursday night, where Mitch Trubisky is from, he's from northeastern Cleveland, then so be it. Enough with the excuses. Enough with the, well, I can't do this and I can't do that. That's BS. Don't give me that crap. Play like you are fearless. Don't live in your fears for once, Tomlin. Don't live in your fears, Canada. Don't live in your fears, Terrell Austin and Brian Flores. And get the damn job done. Get to first place in this pathetic excuse of a division and take care of business the rest of the way. Because I ain't going to lie to you, there is a very distinct possibility that if we lose this game, we could be looking at a 1-5 record after week 6. And when I'm listening to this game on the radio at work, I better hear improvement. I won't be able to see it until I see the highlights, but I better hear improvement. And it starts Thursday night, 8:15, kickoff time in Cleveland, Ohio. A place that I will be moving to in a couple of weeks because I got offered a job for my job's headquarters, which unfortunately is in Cleveland, Ohio. So I'm going to be living in Brownstown for a little bit. I want to rub it in these guys' faces for at least the next 5 years that we can still come up into their stadium and beat them. And it starts Thursday night. Get it done, Pittsburgh Steelers. Leave everything you have on the field. Mitch Trubisky, shut me up. Matt Canada, shut me up. And get this win. And that's it for the preview. Steel Sermon, check it on out for the night. Let's freaking go, Steelers. May God be with you all.